Hey everybody, welcome to another pog-rich day of Trackmania. Track of the day for August. We did get the author medal yesterday. Top 9 BC. I can live with that. Again, I think that the level of competition is expanding for sure. Top 121 in the egg carton, pretty standard, and the author medal is always nice to see. Today we got Elements Racing #1. Let's see what they're saying about it in the Discord. A lot of discussion about the summer tracks, which is fine. A lot of discussion about the world record on this track, which is fine. Let's see what people say. Just get a lot. I like it. It's a lot of like fine grain detail. I'm never getting author medal. The drift at the end is a doozy. There's ice on this map. How long is this map? Gold is 29 seconds. Short and sweet. I like it. Gold is 30 seconds. Author is hard on this one. Okay, this is going to make for a great video. Hey, thank you for that, Rucario, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. We got some GPS today. Yo, dude, Poggy, I got the greatest idea. Skirt, skirt. Little 3-point turn. Skirt. All right, didn't work. But how sick would... Oh, you trickster. Loki. God of mischief. Okay, we go... I see elements, so we probably go dirt, grass, concrete, dirt. Oh, ice. No, concrete. They trick you. They're subverting your expectations. They're breaking new ground. It's ice. You always go heavy turns. What am I doing? I saw the gap and I was like, that's me. Okay, this is fine. Definitely do not want airtime there, but that's okay. We're just doing our recon run. Good stuff. Now we're going ice, remember. It's all nice on ice. Oh, dude. Okay, maybe it's not ice. Maybe that's just wet concrete. I don't know. Okay, so I'm trying to... I read some feedback about how to take banked corners that I'm trying to put into practice. People are saying that I'm remaining too high on banked corners. So instead of treating it like... I'm trying to think of the best example. Instead of crawling along the walls, we should instead treat it as like a diagonal and try to exit the turn at our earliest opportunity. Okay, concrete. We love the concrete, don't we? Then... This is... Am I insane? It's like it's ice, but then immediately goes back to concrete. That's going to be a tricky one to deal with, but we're getting a little bit better at the start of the course. Certainly a little bit better at the start of the course. Great speed through that. That seems fine. That does not seem fine, but let's practice a little bit. It's a heck of a corner there. So you take this one at the... Oh, that's a spicy one. Okay. And then right at the end, all right. That got us a silver, which is a little unusual, I suppose, but considering we bumped into a wall quite drastically, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Short and sweet, I agree. Short and sweet so far. Certainly the last turns at the end feel like a little bit of a doozy, but it doesn't feel like a particularly hard track to finish as of right now. I mean, any track that's 30 seconds long, you remember my last 30-second extravaganza. It was the Turlet Bowl, the Frozen Turlet, Warcraft 3. I think we got a good chance on these ones. Although we did really well on the long NASCAR track as well, if I remember correctly. Skirt. I showed you my... No, let's not go down that road. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Oh, thanks for asking. I'm doing well. It's Thursday. Thursdays are busy days. I just got off Check the Wire. My good friend Dan Giesling talking about the ins and outs of content creation on Twitch and YouTube. Let's not take the turn like that in the future. It was a good time. Later tonight. I mean, we're doing a variety stream because Dark Souls 2 is finally completed. It's over, as Frodo Baggins said. It's over. These are not good corners. That's alright, because we don't need them to be good corners. We just need this to be good. There you go. Oh, buddy. Gotta stay closer to the outside on that one. I don't know what we're gonna play. Probably a little Fall Guys. I know there's a little Fall Guys fatigue, but it's you know, here's the thing. I'm not saying I have not contributed to it, but I played like almost, well, not almost none, but I played very little Fall Guys on Twitch. So I refuse to, when people come into my chat and they're like, oh, Fall Guys, I've already seen so much of it. I'm like, well, stop watching other people, just watch me. It's that simple. You burned yourself out on Yoo-Hoo, and now I'm giving you champagne. And you're going, oh, sorry, I'm full. It's a little bit offensive of me. I apologize. I don't mean to suggest any other streamer is chocolate milk. Bro, why? I'm upset. I'm upset because when we went really slowly, we made it through that final corner so well. And we went, ooh, that's a little spicy, but we weren't really, like, I didn't actually feel the spice. Like, I didn't feel my tongue start to burn. I was just like, you know, I recognized that it smelled spicy. That's way too slow. We gotta figure out what we're doing there. I did see some people in the Discord. That's not a great corner, but we'll see what we got here. I did see some people in the Discord suggest that when you go over the ice, the actual best thing for you to do, and this is maybe a little too galaxy brain, but the best thing to do, hear me out on this one, is to hit the small bump so that your tires thaw out faster, and thus you don't slide as badly. Bro, though. Bro. I hear me! You know what? I think this is an early ghost situation. I gotta see what these ghosts are up to, dude. Sucks. Every day. We got a lot to do before we worry about galaxy brains on that level. So, again, we should make some effort. The number one complaint people have, Trackmania is starting to, I mean, there's, the amount of pog in the comments is quite high. But it's, the Melvins from Monster Train have now made it to Trackmania. They discovered that there's only one letter difference between cards and cars. The number one complaint, which again, it would be nice to implement, without a doubt. The number one complaint is learn more from the ghosts and stop. That's a heavy drift, I see. Stop relying on your muscle memory when things get a little hot, which is genuinely great advice, I think. But, you know, it's an iterative process. It takes practice. And you gotta put yourself in the shoes of the streamer. When the streamer gets an author medal, and people are like, wow, he didn't even try on this track. It's very disheartening. It's like winning a gold medal in the Olympics, and people are like, yeah, but you could have gone slightly faster if you just listened to what the dude on the couch at home said. You know? You gotta recognize that, maybe I'm up here in my ivory tower, but you're throwing stones at the windows and it's made of breakable glass, you know? The tower's made of ivory, but the windows will shatter just like a person's heart. So I just ask for your mercy and your awareness of how it comes across. I do appreciate all the tips. When they get implemented, it's great stuff. When they don't get implemented, I get it's frustrating. When I'm in a Canucks game and Quinn Hughes has the puck and I go, shoot! And he doesn't shoot, I'm like, why won't he listen to me? Then I remember it turns out as, you know, he might know a little bit more about hockey and, you know, quarterbacking the league's fourth best power play than I do, but it's a hard lesson to learn. I will accept that. It is a hard lesson to learn. Well, I got my wheels on thawed. Or thawed, I guess. Then. That's... Okay. Dude, that's a spicy... We should really actually do checkpoint restarts there. The checkpoint restart there is going to save the cheerleader and save the world. Why'd they have to put so many kinks in the track? It's like scrolling through Mathis's Twitter. Okay, come around. Sorry, Mathis. It just came to me in a moment of inspiration. Or a moment of desperation, when I was trying to think of something inspired to say. Okay, so here. Come through. Quick little pivot. Keep your speed up as high as possible. Fission mailed, but that's okay. Oh! Dude, that last corner is like, I don't know. We're gonna, I like the track. I genuinely do, and it's speedy. We're learning a little bit about its myriad elements as time goes on. That's no good. What are we into the video? 10 minutes? Oh, we're still like, this is the first grade of this track. I'm not sweating anything at all. You never know, because sometimes in Trackmania, sometimes in Trackmania, you're like, how deep are we into the video? And you're like, oh, it felt like it's been a minute, but it's been 30 minutes. Sometimes you're like, it felt like it's been 2 hours, but it's actually, it's been 25 minutes. And it's not because any of the tracks are lesser, it's just because, you know, your performance dictates your feelings of time passing you by, you know? When you're setting PBs non-stop, time flies because you're having fun. When you're struggling a little bit, hurts a little bit more. Obviously, we don't want the airtime there. Ladies and gentlemen, we made a clean corner, and we'll just barely miss out on the gold medal there. Nope, we're at like a 1.5 seconds away. Got a long way to go on this one. Now, some of it is early. Like, laying off the throttle there, and then, of course, losing your tires is costing us a lot. This is striking me as a difficult track, honestly. But would I say a fair track? I don't know. It doesn't have, like, any meme-ish elements. But that turn at the end is kind of a meme. I know I said it doesn't have any meme elements, but I'm using that as a contrast. Just because it doesn't have a big loop-de-loop. Still kind of feels meme-esque to me. Memetic. Bro, though. We were doing pretty well. I can't believe I still made it across. So I don't know, it's like it's a power slide, but also you might want to lay off the throttle. It's a novel element. It's like, you know, what is that subreddit called? Like brand new sentences, where they show you sentences that have never been written before because of how novel they are. Perfectly unique sentences, something like that. You know the time has come for some checkpoint-based restarts here. And this is our big checkpoint. So come around the outside. You want to be closer to the right side of the track when you drift. Not that close. I bet we could have gotten off the throttle or off the brake a little faster there. Like that. Yeah, okay. No, the margin of error is pretty low. Even that'll work. So we're learning. Psychologically, I'm just telling myself it's better to let it go a little bit later than a little early. Well, this is riveting television. That would work. That would probably work in most circumstances. Oh, baby, there we go. We're getting a little bit more consistent. Your grip around the apex. You want to wait a little bit later as you maintain a lot more speed. Like if on that one you could do it, but you got to hold down the brake for too long. That's close to perfect, I think, for me. That's way too late. Again, that's pretty good. I can live with that. All right, so we've got that coded into the muscle memory a little bit. So that one goes out to all the people who wanted checkpoint restarts. Obviously, there's other elements to this track we struggle with, but that one was like, that was killing our ability to get PBs. So that's an important one. And again, you get back there real quick. You get back there real quick. I did screw it up. I'm not going to let that get me down. Because I know how to get back there. I know how to set a good time now. I think, honestly, that is just shaved like 25 minutes of progress or regression off, I suppose. Now, this part of the track, we don't sweat. We're just out for a nice Sunday drive on a Montreal Road that's currently undergoing construction. Much smoother turn. Now, I will say, I think on my practice runs, that's much better. On my practice runs, I think we were a little bit slower. So we're going to have to change the way we approach that turn. But I still think that we got a good one in us today, for sure. Okay, so, like, the thing is, like, these ghosts, I don't want to follow them to the letter, because they're merely nationally significant, you know? I guess that's technically a lot better than regionally significant, but... Alright, so never mind. Maybe I should follow them to the letter. That's gonna be a little hot. So again, the world record hits that little bump on the right side so that the wheels thaw out faster. Is that necessary for us? No, but if it works, maybe it's worth it, right? Like, that felt pretty nice. That was Fall Guy's anger, because I felt real nice about that run. Now, that corner was just beautiful. A little bit of wheel lift, but that's all right. Lost more than I'd like to there. Lost more than I'd like to there. I had no confidence coming into that corner. I didn't drift, laid off the gas. I let muscle memory take over. This is, you know, it's... People have rightfully called me out for hypocrisy, which is unacceptable on the internet. You gotta be, you know, you gotta have standards and principles you stick to. What's my hypocrisy? I don't know, it's pretty major. I'm embarrassed. One is saying that I perform best when I'm in a flow state. The other one is saying I perform best when focused. The real answer is that I think when you're learning, you perform best when you're focused. And when you're just executing something you've already learned, you learn best when you're in a flow state. So I do think we're somewhere in the middle right now. But you can see, like, when we get it right, we got all the elements of this track starting to line up. Like, we can consistently be okay through here. Sometimes we kind of clip our wheels or lay off the throttle a little bit too much, but we're pretty much, we're going ahead right there. Here, sometimes it gets a little spicy. That one hurt because we were like a second ahead. It's really hard. I know we practiced that corner. It's really hard to take that corner at speed. We were going a little slow through the previous section, I think, so. Now that was like the exact way you want that to happen. Had to lay off a second. Wasn't used to my speed looking like that. Now this is, again, very inefficient. Well, we cleanly took the corner with the power slide, but that's not, you know, you gotta lay off the throttle real quick on that one. This one is, I mean, I guess it's the opposite of a technical track for now. Like, a technical track is like, I see it, and maybe I'm incorrect here, but I see it as, like, easy to complete, but hard to get. Like, let me put it this way. Incremental speed changes determine everything on a technical track, you know? It's less about, like, did you make it through the loop safely, and much more about, like, you know, hey, did you get on the throttle faster than anybody else through this corner? It's like a sim racer, almost. And then a non-technical track is like, hey, did you manage to complete the course? This one, for me, I hate to say it, it's more of a... Like, a fast lap doesn't necessarily seem that hard. A clean lap seems real tough. Like, even this part is a little tricky. I started treating it more like a slalom. So, little air on the tires, please. Scoop. Wide berth. The pain. It's like I got peanut butter stuck to the roof of my soul. I can't get it off. But when I get it off, oh, that feeling of relief. Late December back in 2020. We can still recover on this. Like, I know it might seem like a pipe dream. I think if you do the corner exactly properly. Oh, that was close, dude. We could have let go of the grip and the rip there temporarily to get that going. But again, we don't really. That's not the PB we're fishing for. We're fishing for a PB that's a little bit more special than that, you know. That's fine. Don't like to see that smoke off the tires, but it is what it is. This is good enough. Okay, it's our first victory in a while. That's gonna put us on the gold medal territory. Starting to work with it. Oh, BC didn't really bring their A game today. All right, we're first now. Give me better opponents from Canada. We got a ways to go before we get to the egg carton. 28.894 is the best we can do here. I certainly think there was room to improve upon my previous lap. Whenever I say that, I'm not inviting the mathematical certainty that because we don't have the world record, there's room to improve. I'm aware of that. I'm suggesting that for my own skill set, it's not going to be frictionless to try to get to the new PB, but it shouldn't be too hard. Like, it shouldn't be outside of the realm of plausibility. Oh, that was close, too. We were a little slow there, but... Really, like, where did we screw up? I hate to say it because it was, like, the best we've ever taken the corner. But, that last corner still leaves a little bit to be desired, for sure. I'm at the point right now where I'm like, I don't even sweat this current section, because I think there's, like, a multi-second arbitrage to be gleaned. Like, this is obviously not good. But if you could sneak through there, you probably could have made up another 2/10. It's minor, but, you know, it's the kind of minor stuff that might start to become major over time. So I don't know what author is today. I'd like to know just for my ambition's sake. Like, is today a realistic author? Obviously, we're going to have to get... Like, this part of the course has to be on. Where are we at here? 29.3. This part of the course has to be on, and then the back half of the course, I think, has to be good. Minimum. We haven't quite hit that. Feel the rage. Feel the rage inside of you. That last corner is like trying to turn left from East 2nd Avenue onto Oak Street at rush hour. Like, best of luck. You got all the nurses coming home from VGH. Everybody's using Broadway because they didn't build a freeway in Vancouver. And then, not to mention, once you get going up on Oak Street, I mean, you're talking about a road that has like a 90-degree incline on it. Lord help you if it snowed at all. I almost wonder if there's like 2 power slidables in there. Like, maybe you could power slide, throttle, power slide, throttle. This is regression. It's regression before progression. Fill out the spots on your Trackmania bingo card. It's about pivoting the torque in the right way and saying thank you to the aero team for all the extra downforce. It did lay off the throttle there. That's no good. In this business, that's a grip and rip. Well, it's better. Okay, so let's look at these ghosts. How are these ghosts doing? Through here, I don't care. This corner, I care. Dirt section, I care. So we're competitive here. This section, don't care. This section, I care a lot. They aren't afraid to take a little bump, that's for sure. There, we were in there. That was one where I'm realizing now, the better ghosts are power sliding a little bit later. A little bit later than I am. Just don't want to clip that. Yeah, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Still competitive. Oh my god. That felt very nice. That felt so nice I didn't know what to do with my newfound speed. There's just something about like when you get the perfect turn that allows you to turn while holding the gas down the whole way. Oh man. That's no good, but we're still in there. We're still competitive. No air brake required. Little bump. No bump. That's fine. That bump is not going to determine our ability. It's a rough corner. I'm willing to give this, you know, like at E3 and other gaming conventions, websites will give like medals. Best of E3, best indie, best roguelike, best card game, most fun, best indie game. This one is like hardest corner in Trackmania history. I'm calling it. Like that is way too flush, right? Like, hold on, I got a message here. Let me see. Let me make sure the message is okay. Okay, it's just it's a link to the Check the Wire VOD, so I can download it for myself and put it up on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Ty. Much appreciated. You never know with the Discord message, right? Sometimes it's just somebody like, hey, you want to talk? Sometimes it's somebody like, I got an emergency. And sometimes someone's like, someone will just send you an @everyone that says J. You never, you know, it's like the phone ringing. You never know. You never know what it's going to be. You're gonna get me to say, you can see my face turning a little bit more red, I'm sure. Feel the blood pressure rising a little bit. I like the track, I genuinely do. I've never disliked it. I hate that final corner. I would like it a little bit more if you could just make that final corner earlier. You know what I mean? If you could just make it so that final corner was like the second corner, so it didn't cost you your whole lap when you screwed it up, I'd philosophically find this track more pleasant. But maybe that's not what you're going for. Maybe you're not going for a pleasant track. Maybe you're going for a track that has a filter at the end, which I actually, again, philosophically, I got no problem with. No, I don't know why I'm saying philosophically so much, but... Okay, good. You made up a little speed there. We lost some early. There you go. Screw the world record. How are you getting out of it so fast? That's what I like. They're getting so much traction. I guess they're releasing the power slide a little faster. Or, well, really like a lot faster than me. Which might account for that difference. That's fine. We're competitive. So let's experiment, you know, we're trying to learn from the ghosts. Forget the world record, just a clean corner. Little heavy on that one. I'm starting to think this might be a 2-power slide, Marty. I'm calling it. I think you slide to get yourself into position to make a second slide to launch yourself. That's no good. That's going to be hard to recover from. It's okay. Not okay. Very not okay. Very not okay. We're about a half hour into the video. Honestly, like, I want to deliver an author medal for all the Hulkamaniacs out there. This one, as of right now, strikes me as a very, very difficult track to improve. I'm not even sure I'm going to beat my only PB. Which is a scary thought. Dude, I'm telling you, it's 2-power slide Marty. That's going to miss, but that is a 2-power slide Marty. If we can be ahead there and then recognize that that's a double power slide situation, we got the world in our hands. Now, I'm not saying we're beating Fitzarama. So where are we losing our time? Consistently, we're losing time on dirt. That anytime we have to take off the throttle there is bad for sure. We're losing a little time on dirt. Last time we lost a lot of time on this corner because we just didn't take it very well. Yeah, like our old self took it pretty well. I still believe in the 2 power slide, Marty. You just got to do it properly. I don't think this is a situation where like better ghosts are gonna help us either. I think this is like a, I could be wrong about that to be fair, but it's a situation where more than anything else, we need to bake it into our cerebrum. Very solid corner. Way too flush. Way too not flush. Way too not flush. Way too not flush. Way too flush. They get to like here, then they start their turn. So they go like skirt, off skirt. It's a real tough one, dude. Like there's always that. What if you go early and then late? No, it's not even close, dude. I'm actually like, what if you just took it around the outside? Slowly. This, I know you're probably like maddened by watching this. I think that's a very viable reaction. It's a very valid reaction, I should say, not viable. But this last corner is like scrambling my egg, dude. Like I don't think I've in Trackmania encountered a corner like that. I would almost rather go back to like Hanging Gardens where you're making turns mid-air. I actually like that track a lot. This one's its own unique beast. And it certainly does not help. Yeah, good one. That every single time I take it, I have a different speed coming into the corner. And as a result, the previous practice is not invalidated, but somewhat compromised. So I think we're almost playing like the lottery right here. We're just trying to make sure that we get a good run. I honestly am kind of befuddled. Like this final corner, I'm not rage quitting, but I'm like, it's an element unlike any I've ever seen before, and it's so weird because I'm like, I've gone through it so many times. You think I would have gotten some degree of at least consistency, but the margin between success and failure on it is like, it's very narrow. Never mind. It's actually like pretty easy. I'm upset, but I'm also like rejuvenated, if that makes sense. Like now that we made it through that section, you know, it does feel like a breaking of the clouds after like a long rain. Like I know that now we've got it in us. Now what was that? Honestly, I think that philosophically, I just said, and I know we're saying that $10 word a lot here, but I think I just said to myself, don't be perfect, just get through it, and that was good enough to be as perfect as I've ever been. It's like the One Direction song, you don't know you're beautiful, and that's what makes you beautiful. When we're trying to just, you know, when we're ignorant of our own skill, that's when it can really shine. The way you take turns, it is clinical, and the airtime you get is minimal. I don't know much about One Direction, to be honest. Except I had a very nice night at karaoke once with some middle-aged gentlemen who were like, the story of my life, I take her home, I drive all night to keep her warm, and time is effing frozen. And then like very earnestly, a young millennial woman with a microphone in her hand singing backup was going, the story of the story of the story of the... Story of my life, I'll leave her on. It was a very good moment. Skirt. And a little skirt. Anyway, that was fun. That was a fun time. So this is probably a time for focus. You might be asking, by the way, is that the same night that there was the legendary Smooth Operator karaoke I've discussed many times? Yes, it was indeed. Where, I don't know, it seemed like the two dudes who were doing it they were really good, by the way, but they were like out of the B-52s. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, baby, Western Mail. Don't you know you're a smooth operator? Bro. Big tuna. Come on, we can do this. I know we got a PB in us. I'm not sweating the PB we missed on, you know? So if you're gonna miss one PB and be like, man, life's hard, you know? You're making life hard for yourself, you know? We got more coins to put in the slot machine here. We got more time on God's green earth. We can figure this out and at least give ourselves one more blue split. Like, that felt real nice. Bro, though! Bro! We were there, bro! Why, it's turning me into Andy from The Office. The Nard Dog does not power slide. Time for me to do a Nard Dog power slide into the DM. Skirt? Bro. Soul's leaving my body a little bit. That's a good turn, though. Okay, you know, the start of this, it's all about consistency. It's all about just being there at the front of the pack, not sweating it too much. We're entering that corner different than the top ghosts, but I think it's actually better. We had a vector too! I'm putting my racing face on. Good. Good. All too easy. All too easy. Okay, I have to put my racing face off. It was starting to hurt. A little slower. That's slow. That's slow, but we took the turn successfully. This is... Who made this? Okay, sorry. I've been using that line too much lately. Who made this? It's like diarrhea coming off of a bull's beehole soaked in a case of Rolling Rock. You can just slide over it? Bro. I think it's funny that after I did that impression, my cat left. Tomo, I didn't mean it. I'm not the angriest gamer you've ever heard, dude. I'm just mildly perturbed. He's the slightly perturbed dude. Remember that weird period where like all gamers had to be angry? And then like right after that, there was like a piggyback industry that was like, I'm the happy gamer? What happened? Whatever happened to that, dude? We should go back to that. Did we ever leave? I don't know. What year is it? This is going nowhere. I'm just saying this road was not designed for safety. Like, if you could build any course, why would you build Monaco? That's all I gotta say. It's like, that final corner is Monaco. And I don't need a little bit of Monaco in my life. I don't need a little bit of Monaco by my side. Little slow. Little slow. We did beat one of the ghosts for the first time in a long time, though. Where are we at here? 40 minutes? I mean, I'm predicting this will be a longer episode, but I'm telling you the next PB is probably where the video ends. I think it's a good track. It's not my favorite track to grind, because so much of it comes down to the final element. And I'm not talking about Californium. Californium. I don't know. how many protons californium has. It's probably like 170 or something, so let's not worry about it. You ever think it's weird how, like, there can be scientific elements in the periodic table created? Like, some of them, obviously, you can find in the wild. You know, you can find, like, nickel, right? I'm saying right not as an affirmation, but as, like, a capstone to the sentence. And some of them are, like, lab only, right? But aren't some elements of the periodic table strictly theoretical? Like, scientists have done research and they're like, this configuration should be plausible, but it would only be stable for like a fraction of a second or something like that. I know for certain there are elements on the periodic table that have only been created in laboratories and are not basically exist unobservably in real life because they decay so fast. I believe that's the case, and I said I know for certain, but I believe that's the case. But I thought there were some elements on the periodic table that existed essentially theoretically. Like, scientific principles dictate that it should be possible for this atom to exist, but we've never been able to create it in a lab or observe it in real life because it would decay to an isotope in, like, I don't know if decay to an isotope is the right verbiage, but like, it's barely holding on to those electrons. Those electrons are like, they're seeking other options. This track's taking it out of me. I'm not gonna deny it. Not negative about it in the least, but you know, it's a very grindy track. Like, this is a track, I think that they've been, and by they I mean me, really, but the PBs have been like very thrifty. We were almost in there too. Some tracks, you know, and that's not necessarily to say our performance was even better, but some tracks, you set PBs constantly because the track has so much, you know, thread to pull. This is like the super opposite of that. On this one, everything is so tight that it's a doozy. I don't think it's a bad track though, but I will say I prefer the last couple to this one. But all we need, I really find genuinely and generally, this is a bad example of that, but when we're ahead of our ghost, by the time we reach that little ice section, we tend to actually have a good chance at a PB. Like, this is close. That felt very right, although I hated the airtime there. The final corner is like a toothache, dude. Not pain, but just like, you know, your gums are inflamed. And you can't stop poking it with your tongue. And then you're like, why are they so inflamed? And the dentist is like, have you been poking it? And you're like, no. But you know, you've been poking it. This one's going friggin' nowhere. Great corner. I don't understand. Like, I'm actually... This is one where I'm like, I gotta get a private one-on-one Trackmania coach for this one. I feel like everybody else's tires have, like, tacks on them. And my tires have, like, vegetable oil seeping out of the treads. How are you able... And don't lie to me. How are you able to take that corner so well? This is another close one. We were off by, like, I was just going to say, less than a tenth. It's hard. Like, honestly, it's a situation where I should probably just... I don't know if Trackmania has this. Can you just watch someone's replay? Because watching it while driving is irresponsible. Maybe an air brake could have saved us, like, the slightest speed there. All right. I'm trying so hard to be nice. Do you know what sentence just popped into my head? I don't dislike the track. I dislike the experience of driving on the track. There's a difference, honey. Somebody in the comments was like, the reason I like this series is because it's a lot like Super Meat Boy. And I think I'm starting to embrace that, you know? You get a lot of moments of frustration. I mean, obviously there's like gameplay similarities, because like when you crash into a wall, you lose, right? But there's also like... Oh, I didn't hold the throttle down, but we might still make it a little faster. Okay, we can push it a little harder than that. I mean, come on. Come on. No improvement whatsoever, huh? But anyway, I think it's the moments of genuine frustration and like feeling like you're stuck at a wall, and then when you finally break past it, it's like you just got a colon blockage removed or something, you know? Like I feel so free right now. It's like I'm walking on sunshine. And you know what? Don't it feel good? Yeah, I know, okay? I don't want to be... Wait, why don't you just be further to the left when you go through that section? Because it's not a turn-based strategy game where I got an isometric view of where my car is and I got 45 minutes to think about, well, if I place the unit here and I hunker, then I'll get a defensive bonus, and then if it goes wrong, I'll just save scum. You know, it's not like that. We're not playing the game like that. We got to play the game in real time. We're like, you know, we're piloting a faster-than-light starship here. Hey, why don't you just take the turn right? Because it's a complex ballet of, you know, neurons and tendons and muscles and ions and... I think we still... Oh, no, the boost equalizes us too much. That was a really... Like, we've learned something, actually. We gain a ton of speed on these ghosts. I think we have found a better line than the ghost, even the best ghost, on one of the later elements here. And that might be enough if we can handle the rest of the course. This is a little terrible. That might be enough, though, to actually put us on the top of this particular cohort. But it's going to require, and you know what I'm going to say, this is the element, by the way, as long as your wheels don't dip too much. You know you're hitting a new low when your glasses touch the microphone. Anyway, we know what it takes. We gotta nail the final corner. There's no exception to the rule on that one. It's infuriating, dude. It's my fault, because we've taken the corner 70 times, and we continue to make similar mistakes. But it is also like a very, very devious corner. That's all I'm gonna say. The corner is very, very devious. And once you fall behind on this track, cancel Christmas. You know, you're not making it back. We can at least get a little practice. That could have been worse, I think. I don't know. I don't know how much I got left in me. We're at like 50 minutes. Probably shouldn't do too much more so I can get a little bit of extra work done today. But, yeah, I mean, this is it's a track that I try not to be the guy, you know, because I really think, like, if you ask anybody their opinion on any track of the day, most of the time you're just going to hear the negativity. Oh, I didn't like this part of the track. I didn't like this part of the track. I think, like, as with most of the tracks we play in this game, there's lessons to be learned from the track, and I think we learned some of them. We were watching the ghosts, we're paying attention to checkpoints, and we did some checkpoint restarting as well. But this one, it honestly just has an element at the end of it that's really, really hard and probably warrants more practice than I can give it to consistently get to where I'd like to be on the course, but obviously as of right now I've not really reached. It's a course where the theory of what to do is not necessarily that difficult. Very rarely on this course do I go, I don't know where to go. Except, you know, that very first attempt, this is like a disaster. That very first attempt when I was, like, down here and I thought we'd go to the empty space. over there. Instead, it's more like, I know what this corner looks like. Actually executing on it, though, is like a 1 in 10 sort of prospect. Thank you for the resub, Mexiturtle. Much appreciated. Appreciate all the support. Okay, send it. Way too far on the outside there, but we can still hang. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Nope. Okay. They're getting a little demoralized, I'm not gonna lie. This one's... it's tricky. And I think, like, just saying that, like, you know, it's not that hard to complete is kind of a misnomer. Like, the start of this track is real easy. I know it's a misnomer that I've said as well, but... the dirt section, if you try to take it at speed, is actually fairly difficult. And then this corner, like, a 1 degree change in the way that you position yourself is make or break. And then the final corner is just, like, the underworld. Like, the final corner is, like, you know, it's the final boss battle. Everything else, though, you know, you got some decent mini-boss battles headed up to that. Decent moguls. Decent on the moguls. So you got speed there. Oh! I hate it, dude. I hate it. You couldn't have just made it like a little more generous. It's alright. I know there's going to be some Dr. Pangloss out there. Many won't understand the reference. It's from the novel Candide. What is a Pangloss? Or what's Panglossian? Believing that the way things are is the best they could possibly be. I'm not saying that I think this element at the end is even bad. But if your goal was to inspire anything but frustration, I think that there's something to be gleaned there. You know, different strokes for different folks. But I do get frustrated when people are like, just make it easier, Forehead. I'm not like, you know. It's less like make it easier and more like make it easier to complete, but still reward like the optimum line, if that makes sense. Like on every track, the optimum line is always gonna win. You know, if you do things the best way that they can be done, you're gonna win. So what this feels like to me is like that final corner is like a little gate that says elite gamers only, you know? A lot of tracks, you have a lot of fun, you're laughing the whole time you get to the end, and you go, oh, I was like 4 seconds behind the world record, but at least I had a good time. On this one, it's like driving to a nightclub, and then when you get there, they're like, you're not cool enough to get in. That's a metaphor. That's a metaphor for how I'm feeling right now on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. I'm cool enough! Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for today. I don't know how much better I'm getting than that. I'll take it. This one was a heck of a grind. I'll take my top 5 for the time being. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time. See you.